Picks and bans for game number 3.
So killed Ixu.
He did. He did. He came back. He got some revenge. Thresh ban against Snowflower. I think it's a good idea. Rise ban, of course, from red side. Going to be what we're going to see probably until Rise gets nerfed.
And will they let SKT have the Callista again, though, which is the question. First game they banned Rise, Azir, Cassiopeia from the red side. SKT has a chance to get that Callista first pick again, a pick that really works well for them. So where do you go? I'm sure SKT will be happy to pick up a Cassiopeia first if they have that opportunity.
Yep. Anarchy thinking long and hard of this ban. They don't know if they want to maybe give the victor over to the Azir ban against Faker.
They could also just leave both Cassiopeia and Callista up and therefore get one. But SK Telecom showing that they still really prioritize that first pick Callista above certain other champions. Is the Gragas going to be banned right here, or the Evelynn? They probably don't want to first pick the Gragas.
I think the Gragas, yeah. Okay, they do ban that. Yep. Okay, the last ban, will it be Callista? Or will it be one of these mid laners that we've seen do so well tonight?
Cassiopeia, will it be that Cassie again?
Yeah.
You have to be a little bit reluctant to let Bang have that Callista, so there's not really a good choice here for Anarchy. They're going to let something through that they probably rather
Cassiopeia.
not.
Well,
okay.
Instant Callista for SK Telecom, locked in right away. It will give Victor over to Mickey, though.
If he wants to pick it early. That is obviously a bit of a disadvantage on that red side, but they thought they could control Faker in that matchup, which they did fairly well.
I think if you don't pick this Victor now, SKT is just going to take it and not, worry too much about it. So, but even though it is risky, you do sort of have to take it early against Faker.
They also have to take the Alistar here is the thing, because they don't want to let the Kalistar, as you like to call it, Kalistar combo go down.
Kalistar.
Considering that gives SK Telecom a strong point, but after Wolf's last game, maybe they're just thinking he's not mechanically on point with that Alistar tonight. So
that's what I'm thinking after that last game.
However, I think that early picking Hecarim when Gnar is still up for grabs would be a bit overbold, and they're going to agree with me and go Rek'Sai alongside the Victor instead.
See, the Alistar is better for Wolf now because he doesn't need to worry about headbutt and into pulverize. He can just go in with the Fate's Call and then pulverize. So it's easier, Don't need to worry about the combo.
All right.
So you grab, I would say, Alistar and maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, you want to take a jungler here for sure because you want to see more of their composition before you commit to solo lanes, and it will be the Nunu, but that doesn't have the same pressure that Rek'Sai has in terms of kill potential in the Callista Alistar lane.
The Vayne again, perhaps for Songyun.
Wow, you really don't want to pick your top laner here. You want to pick your duo lane because at least save one of your solo lanes for a counter pick.
Yeah.
Don't want to walk right into that Gnar that they thought was very much ban-worthy in the last one. So are we going to see something like Orianna Gnar this game from SK Telecom? They don't have a lot of information. Janna Vayne, that is a lane that needs to be swapped, by the way. That is not a very strong lane at all.
So what are we going to see Faker and Marin play here?
I'm just curious whether Faker is actually going to try and get a champion that he can more thoroughly outplay Mickey on, like that Ahri.
Yeah.
But I like this draft from Anarchy. They're going to be able to play aggressively around the mid lane again, and they've, through the ban of Gragas, SKT also not going with that Evelynn, didn't want to have a champion that packs a little bit more punch in the early game. So it's going to be up to Bengi just to keep track of this Rek'Sai and consistently counter jungle to make sure that Faker is safe. Faker may be going for that Ahri, so we will get the opportunity actually to see that reverse matchup. That's exciting.
Yeah, and that looks like what they're going to go with. The Rumble being taken for Marin as well.
So Faker...
So will we see the Gnar from Ixu maybe?
Faker did well in the Victor-Ari matchup.
Yeah.
Playing Victor in game 1. Now he has a chance to turn the tables on his opponent, and Rumble again going down for SKT. That dropped very far in priority considering it was taken first round of red side in the first couple of games. Now, we go with the Gnar here and try and use that range advantage to bully the Rumble.
Yeah, I feel like the Gnar is, if Ixu can play it well, I feel like the Gnar is the way to go here.
Well, that said, Ixu did a good job of playing Hecarim into the Rumble in the last game.
It's true.
You did have that early death. That was a bit of a misplay, but you really saw how well that Hecarim could do with the Ignite against the Rumble later on. Now, I do think that Marin did build disrespectfully with that Leandry's first and no arm guard.
You know, I suppose the other thing, too, is that this time the area AD carry has a bit more appeal. The mid is a bit more mobile, so I like the Gnar a little bit better this time around.
Yep, lots of appeal for Victor and Vayne. This is a dangerous combination in the late game, but you're not going to have Snowflower able to affect the other lanes quite as much anymore. They probably are going to need to dodge into a lane swap in this particular case. And we'll see how safe Faker is in this mid lane free 6, because they could come all in on him with a big gank in a lane swap situation with multiple members.
Going with Ignite, too, so Faker going to be playing things a bit more aggressively here.
Well, there's not really a threat for him to take seriously with a cleanse or something like that. So,
yeah, exactly.
He's going to be able to kite this composition extremely effectively, actually, on Ahri. This is a great comp to play Ahri against, because your Spirit Rush is going to be able to disengage very well. And the problem with Anarchy's composition is that they don't have primary engage. So locking down Faker is going to be really, really hard.
Yeah, Faker getting a chance to really play a champion, too, that he can carry on very, very hard with, with being mobile and being an assassin. You know, I feel like Faker's good in a lot of things, but I always felt like assassins are kind of his
I really
main bread and
think
butter.
Sivir would have been better here for Anarchy. They have to do something like flash on Burrow on Rek'Sai to engage, and that is dicey.
We'll see if they can pull it off. They won game 2. Who's going to take game 3? Time to find out. And here we go. Oh, there we go. Wolf remembering his trinket now. SK Telecom versus Anarchy, game 3. I didn't think I'd be saying that tonight, but Anarchy looking very good. Songyun, too, having a very quietly good game, Vayne game last time. We didn't talk a lot about it, but his KDA was really good at the end of it. And he played well. You know, he did his job in team fights, did his job in lane, and so very quietly having an awesome game on that Vayne last time.
That's right. Well, I don't know about this Anarchy composition, though. As I said, you're kind of like hoping for something crazy, like a teleport home guard Gnar with his rage bar full flank engage. It's just there's not a lot of options. They can't even poke that well because there's no follow-up poke from Vayne. So they're very dependent on SK Telecom engaging into them, because if they try to engage...
well, I don't know about that.
Well, if he's the god of jungle in Korea, I don't know. I think Dandy probably takes that role, but whatever.
Well, Dandy's not in Korea right now, man.
But he is Korean, which is what that sign says.
Oh, okay, all right. We can go with Dandy then. How about in Korea right now?
Yeah.
I'd say
don't.
Score,
Chaser, yeah.
Ambition. I think you've got a plethora of choices.
So, as I was saying, SKT, they have so many tools to kite out a Rek'Sai or Gnar engage. Spirit Rush, Absolute Zero, Callista passive. How exactly does Anarchy plan on forcing fights around objectives? There's no good way for them to do so.
That is an excellent question.
I think the answer is they don't really. I really am not a fan of Anarchy's composition. I think SKT holds a lot of the tools they need. They've got some really good pick potential, and there's just not a very good way for Anarchy to get in range to take out SK Telecom's carries in this game. This Callista basically has no threat.
Well, again, you know, Bang undefeated, as we can see on that Callista so far.
Yep, 8-0 now after that win in Game 1 tonight in his professional career. And Songyun also undefeated, but with a much smaller sample size.
Yes. But Bang and Wolf definitely going to need to have a much, much better Game 3 than they did in Game 2.
I'm not even sure they do. I think Bang can just kite.
Well, Wolf does,
and right-click.
Wolf definitely does.
Wolf doesn't even need to engage.
Wolf still needs to
He
have
could
a
just
better
stand
game.
there and wait for them to walk.
Oh, hi. Well, Bengi just walks up.
Did he take it? I don't think he
I
did.
don't think he got it, no.
Nope. Lyra actually coming up with that one just
call.
barely.
Yeah.
Still annoying, though. Bengi doing his usual new things. He's actually contesting the Raptors right now because they have pressure in mid lane and because Lyra doesn't have Smite. So Lyra can't do anything about this. He just has to sit there and watch his Raptor get taken away.
Oh, he's trying to bring the Raptor home with him. The Raptor doesn't want to go. Wants to go into Nunu's stomach.
Bengi is one of the most annoying Nunu players in the world. Just the amount of dumb crap he makes the enemy jungler put up with is ridiculous.
Let's face it, though. If you're a Nunu player and you're not annoying, you're doing it wrong. That's the truth. Well, so far, Faker having a good mid lane, but you would expect that early on.
Well, I like the way that Faker and Faker and Bengi rather really communicate well around the Nunu too. You can see that synergy because if Faker didn't have the pressure right there, Bengi could not have been doing what he was doing on Nunu.
Yeah.
So they work together so well to play this Nunu, and now again Faker really aggressively warding, knowing that Rek'Sai is on that side of the map, so he's going to push in and wait for Bengi's time to get into the enemy jungle once more. Faker going back, getting the extra Doran's ring. Mickey recall with the early recall as well for that Forbidden Idol. So matching Faker's moves, actually. Very interesting that we see this build on Victor and it merging today, whereas most players like to wait for that 1,000 gold to get that first upgrade. So this is just a little bit of a bump in terms of power in the laning phase to try and get an advantage early.
It's a bit more sustained.
Yeah.
Yeah, time will tell what they end up going with. I mean, arguably, do you really need that little bit of extra AoE on the laser? Whereas you could just have more lasers. And who doesn't want more lasers? Makes sense to me. Oh, Bengi going into the enemy jungle again. Wow, Ixu really low in this top lane.
Look at all those wards, too. Lots of safety in the top side. Wow, so many wards from Bengi.
Yeah, I think in general SKT is going to approach this one a bit more safely.
Just all of his Sightstone wards and a pink going down in the top side right now so that Marin can continue to punish Ixu before Ixu gets something like a Hex Drinker. Now, Faker just moving up towards the top side. He knows that Rek'Sai, now they're going to see Rek'Sai moving into his side of the jungle, but he's got nothing to farm over there. Bengi has done a thorough clear, and now he's just here to stop Ixu from, man, that is...
Ixu could get dove here. Marin.
Absolutely, there's the equalizer.
Yeah, that's right. Ixu burning down. Bengi just needs one more snowball, man. That is it. Here comes the wave.
Ixu.
Lyra getting close. Yep. A casual snowball. Delivers the first blood to Bengi, already having a pretty stellar game on that Nunu.
That is so brutal, but great warding and great prep from SKT to make that happen, and Rek'Sai just, there's so much knowledge that SK Telecom had that Lyra just trying to get what he could, but...
That had to be one of the most agonizing deaths that Ixu has ever had to endure, just knowing it's coming, knowing that it's going to be like the easiest thing in the world.
There's nothing he could do, too, because even if he flash hops, that's going to flash snowball coming right after you, so you might as well just not use your summoners.
Yeah, there's a combo hit, but Bang taking a lot of hits himself.
Still sustained advantage to SKT.
Certainly. There we go. Faker starting to chip away at that turret. Lyra coming in. Yeah, Faker just looking much more comfortable in the mid lane this game with all those wards, with all that vision to stay safe, and just with the Ahri in general.
Well, the solo lane's really starting to do work on these towers, and
exhausting Songyun. Double knock up with that whirlwind though, and Songyun's going to be able to get away. Ren not doing enough damage. Snowflower taking a lot of damage himself too. Oh boy. Oh wow, Songyun goes back in. That may not have been wise. There's a heal though.
Heal from
Bang. Oh, Songyun able to get it.
Caster minions right there taking the kill. Bang and
Whoops.
Songyun both using their heal, and another sloppy play in the bottom lane, but Songyun and Snowflower really having their way on this Vayne tonight.
Well, luckily Faker and Bengi are doing awesome, and they're able to come in and steal this blue buff right afterwards. But, man, Bang and Wolf are going to, I think they're going to have a bit of an earful from Coma when they get back to the team house tonight, no matter who wins this game.
Very unusual for them to be doing this
Yeah.
poorly, especially with the lane combo that they have. You just need to take those wins, force the opponent back, and use that Alistar's sustain advantage. There's no reason to play that aggressively at Bang.
Nope. It's one of those, Marin could get dove here, will get dove here. A lot of damage there coming in with the flash knockup. Marin doing a lot to Ixu. Oh, Marin with a play onto Ixu. Whoa, with the double kill! That is the kind of play that SK Telecom needs to make right now.
Really bad dive from Anarchy. That Gnar was nowhere near hitting Mega Gnar form. They jumped the gun.
So. And Bengi takes Dragon in the meantime.
Yep, free Dragon.
Well,
just make plays on both sides of the map at the same time.
Turns out you were right. Bang and Wolf don't need to have a good game.
Well, look at that equalizer, too.
Yeah.
It's a great flash, and then Ixu flashing afterwards, but he takes one last turret shot, and then Lyra eats some more tower damage as
Wow.
Marin swag walks away.
He does. Now he's got that Seeker's arm guard. He's got the Haunting guys. He is well equipped to deal with this Gnar that doesn't even have Hex Drinker yet. Had to use his teleport to come back to lane too, so TP advantage going in SK Telecom's favor.
This is a pretty crazy snowball that's starting to form,
Yep.
based around the Nunu, and it's such a comfort champion for this entire team, and Bengi just knows how to play around the pressure in his lane so well on this pickup.
Right.
And he's nullified this Rek'Sai. Everything that Anarchy was doing in the last game in terms of trying to make plays onto that mid lane is just blown away in the wind.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff. Faker comes in and grabs the blue buff.
Another one, you mean, and now we see 20 CS leads developing at 10 minutes here in the solo lanes, and they're just not able to prevent turret damage from going down either because of the control that Bengi is giving this SKT team.
Yeah, Bengi on track for an MVP performance already. If SKT can win it, and it's looking pretty good so far, aside from Bang & Wolf.
A little bit of dodge right there, so...
But it's not like SK Telecom is new to having to win games despite their bot lane, you know? This is historically something that Faker and Bengi have had to deal with.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, in the good days, the good old days of SKT T1K, Piglet was an extremely talented performer, but
Right.
For a lot of 2014, that was not the case.
Yeah, times certainly did change.
Piglet actually one of historically the highest KDA players in Korean history. He has like a 5.8 KDA over his entire career in Korea, but that dropped down pretty drastically by the end. There's Gnar is still available.
Not a good idea. Oh boy, Marin with a solo kill now. Wow. Yep, just denying Rek'Sai the ability to come in with the ultimate too.
Yep, there's just no tunnels up at the top side for that for Lear to help. So
That was it.
Bengi just creating so many options for his solo laners right now. Mickey continuing to be pushed in. Here we go. Looks like nothing happening in the bottom lane. I got excited for nothing.
Yeah, Wolf and Bang just need to sit back and farm now. They don't try to make plays, just live. Just don't die. All right. Well, Mickey doing a lot of damage to Faker here, but meanwhile, Marin able to take that top turret. Oh, Faker
Nice
1v1 by
play.
Mickey. Really nice. He caught him. Wow. That was really good from Mickey.
Faker thought he could get away with just the Spirit Rush too, but if he had flashed, he actually may have been able to live through that alongside the Spirit Rush if he had flashed first, but Faker miscalculating the damage, and Mickey with a little bit of mind game. He's like, oh, well, I stopped, because Mickey stopped him from killing the ward because the lens was going to time out, so Faker thought that that's all Mickey wanted, but Mickey, with the quick fingers coming back,
well, Faker,
the flash.
Faker was a bit low on health to be playing that Cavalier as well.
It's a bit of a mind game, fun little mind game right there. And Mickey's a player.
Good.
Mickey's good.
Mickey's good.
He is good.
That's all we need to say. That's my analysis. Mickey's good.
Still, huge gold lead starting up, but at least Mickey gets himself back in this game, has a kill, caught up in farm as a result of Faker's absence, so he's going to be feeling nice after that little exchange.
Yeah, able to get another upgrade for that core. His core item, his literal core item.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Banky in the bush.
Yep, Faker going into that Spirit Rush, wants a bit of revenge here. Has to duck out. There's the Equalizer coming in. A lot of damage onto Bengi. Snowball comes in. Mickey, Faker trying to make a play. They can't quite get him. The heal from Snowflower.
Yeah. That was actually a flash ignite from Faker there, trying to finish off that kill. Doesn't work, but they are going to get the mid lane turret.
Yeah. If you kill Faker 1v1-2, you know he's coming for you within the next couple minutes. He's going to want to get that revenge. Teleport coming in now for Anarchy. Ixu has that Meganar coming up, but not quite yet. Flash from Bang. There's the exhaust onto Ixu. They have to keep running, man. They don't want to deal with this. Wolf has to pop that ultimate.
This is why Anarchy's composition is questionable. They popped so much for that. Lyra had to pop Flash. Ixu popped Flash. But there's no locking down this composition with these champions. They're too easily able to kite it out.
And Faker's still able to defend that mid lane turret with plenty of good wave clear as well. 30 seconds until Baron now. Or not Baron. Wolf. No. Dragon. What? I don't know what's going on anymore. Until the unicorn comes into play. Oh, Flash pulverize onto Mickey. Faker coming in for a bit of damage. Can they land something interesting? Chaos Nexus, Chaos Storm rather, comes down. Mickey getting low. And the revenge happens. Faker gets the kill. You know, you can't kill Faker 1v1 and he won't and think he's not going to come back for you.
Wow, they're committing so much into this top lane turret. They really want to trade it for this dragon. They're saying, we don't have any cause to be going after this one, but the problem is that Callista can keep pushing forward.
Aaron, he knows the Gromp is there. He can't quite get it. He's hoping for the magic surprise gold from the Gromp. SK Telecom going for an easy second dragon here, and this is a pretty good trade for a top turret, I think.
Well, especially because they caused a lot of CS to be lost on the bottom side as well.
Yeah,
Marin's still fighting for this one, too, and picking up CS. He's 1v3 on the top side of the map right now. He doesn't care. He's just going after Lyra.
Man.
There's not enough damage to kill him now that he chunked out Ixu. So here we go.
Marin is coming for you. Oh, not anymore. Now he's going to farm the lane. I kind of went Dragon Ball Z voice for a second there. Will Marin be able to farm the lane? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Yes,
Nope.
he can. Never mind.
We found it out already, Doa. Sorry. We don't have to wait 32 episodes of them yelling at each other with no action happening for
Pretty much.
that to be uncovered.
Oh, goodbye, Lyra. Will Lyra be able to take out Marin? No, he can't. Never mind. You know, Dragon Ball Z is mostly just 20 minutes of grunting followed by 5 minutes of eye jiggling, and then one punch is thrown. That's it.
Sounds a lot like certain parts of my life.
Well, now we know. Hey, man, I didn't think you were going to reveal certain things about your CLG coaching days, but I guess if it's time, it's time. Good on you, man. Good on you to come forward with that. I appreciate the transparency.
I'm sure the fans do as well.
We always suspected. Oh, Lyra. Oh, he just comes. He is the most annoying Nunu I've ever seen. He really is.
Well, can they zone him off the bottom lane tower right now? I mean, this is a pretty big lead to have at this point in the game.
Yeah.
Especially against a composition that has no hope of engaging on you.
Oh, Lyra. Oh, Fate's Call brings in Lyra. There's a snowball as well. Oh, poor Lyra. Snowflower coming in to try to save him, but the absolute zero going to slow people down. Bang gets a kill there. Songyun exhausted. Can they catch up to him? I don't know. They get the flash anyway.
Here comes
Marin's going after Mickey meanwhile, but that Chaos Storm's going to do a lot of damage. Faker coming down. Can they
Here we go.
close off onto Snowflower? That turret's still there, though. Equalizer goes down. And Bengi can just tank this here. Snowflower pushing people back. Bengi taking a lot of turret damage, but look at that. Wow. Marin's doing so much right now. And Faker comes in for a possible kill, going after Mickey now. Double kill for Marin in the meantime. Oh, Faker needs to be careful here. Misses the charm. They're going to get the tier 1 turret, though.
Faker Zari, despite it being one of his most played champions of all time, really hasn't been looking good in the last couple of months. He has been missing more skill shots than normal, even though he did do pretty well in the laning phase.
It's because the Q speeds you up now, so he can't quite judge where to throw the charm afterwards, you know?
And look at Faker, too. He's going to get the Luden's Echo as his next item.
Oh, Ixu. Ixu, no flash. Going to push Marin back with that ultimate. Just going to hop over the wall.
So Luden's Echo, just another item to make it even harder for Anarchy to actually engage in any sort of fashion whatsoever onto the composition of SK Telecom, which was already very slippery in the first place. This is really...
Oh, boy. Oh, Faker. Faker's got his flash. He may need to use it here. Charm onto Songyu and a little bit of parting damage as Faker runs away with that speed boost from the Q.
Also,
wards everywhere.
He has the Wisp with the speed already, so
yeah.
he's just... There's not really a way you're going to be able to get this Ahri, even with the Vayne passive coming in.
Yeah, not too big of a concern. Just going to clear the Raptors on his way out.
Yeah, just doing it for a little bit of sustain right there. Spell vamping off the Ahri passive.
Right.
So taking the little ones out, leaving the big one up for Bengi later on. And Faker with a little bit of healing now from Wolf in the mid lane. Marin on a rampage right now through the enemy jungle. That Zhonya's Hourglass already completed. And nobody with really much MR except for the top laner. Problematic against this very fed Rumble.
Oh,
hello.
Equalizer, and there we go, the Pulverize. He's going to be Meganar. It's a stun on Tamar, and Ixu may have enough health to get out. Snowball coming in. They really want this one. And even Meganar. Oh, Meganar making it out. SK Telecom committing a bit too much for this. Wolf is going to pay for it, it looks like. They're still fighting it, though. Wolf is still alive. I guess he's really tanky now. Mickey getting knocked out. Absolute zero, full channel. That's still not a lot of damage. Wolf still there. Faker, though, coming in for the cleanup. Marin gets a double kill in the end. Mickey manages to pick off Wolf after all said and done. SK Telecom again with such a big lead that they can afford to be a bit silly here.
I'm actually shocked that SK Telecom was able to turn that dive around.
Me too. Me too. Oh, knock up on a Faker. Faker flashing away. A little bit of damage onto Lear on the way out. Songyu not able to follow. Marin coming back in again. Meanwhile, Bang able to take a turret in mid lane.
Tier 2 nonetheless, now stretching that gold lead to nearly 10K. Marin just having an amazing game.
No kidding, 8-0 and 2. 8-0 and 2 already on this Rumble at 20 minutes.
Jeez.
Wow.
Well, he's just been everywhere, too.
Yeah.
He's been out of control, making plays across the map, making sure that he can carry his team right here. Not just sticking around in the lane to get those solo kills, but showing up in unexpected places on the bottom side of the map to get those equalizers in the jungle when he needed to with his teleport. Now they're going to set up for Dragon number 3.
And they probably won't have a tough time taking it either. Everything seems to be pushing their way on the Dragon side of the map anyway. Wow. Spear's starting to do a lot of damage, though they usually don't.
Well, Ixu doing all he can on the top side, but Marin doesn't have TP right now. Dragon is live, so there is a short time. Well, nope, I lied.
Dragon number 3.
It's Callista Nunu. You can't actually take objectives away from them.
Yep. Yeah, SKT coming back and playing this game 3 quite a bit more seriously. Bang and Wolf still not having the best game ever, but good enough. You know, we'll put it that way. He is like 33%.
That'll do, Wolf.
That'll do. That's right. If he was playing support Sejuani, and That'll Do Pig would be appropriate. That'll do, cow.
Wow, looks like Marin wants to get a death cap now, too. So just going for huge amounts of damage on the Rumble. No sign of a Void Staff, but who needs a Void Staff when Ixu is the only person with MR on the enemy team?
Yep.
Bengi still has Bengi has now successfully taken out every tunnel in the enemy jungle.
Bengi, Tunnel Hunter. That's what happens when you have a Nunu running around your jungle unchecked all game long.
Well, SK Telecom, they can pretty much do whatever they want right now. They actually have much more vision this game than they have in previous ones. Seem to have stepped up that part of their play quite a bit. They've got a couple tier 2s in the outer lane to take care of. Beat the Baron, of course. Lots of options right now.
And right now, Baron is looking pretty tempting to a SK Telecom team that's 8,000 gold ahead. And especially an SK Telecom team with Nunu and Kalista. Yeah, they're just go ahead and start it for the moment anyway. No?
I was actually started by a Prey Seeker from
yeah,
trying to clear out a ward, so they just want to play around this as much as possible. They'll force the inevitable face check and then work from there, more than likely. I mean, they have to do something right now to clear this out. They have no idea whether they're on this Baron at the moment or not. Well, now they do that. They see Bengi.
Yep. And so they will just go ahead and do it. Bang and Wolf just starting to take it by themselves here.
Do you like 1 million spears in your Baron? Wow, they're backing off of it. Bengi not ready to do that, so they use Alistar ult to tank it and then don't actually commit to the finish. Meanwhile, Anarchy just going to charge up the mid lane. No one there to defend. Awkward.
Yeah. It's a bit of the first kind of little misstep we've seen SK Telecom have this game. We'll just blame it on Bang and Wolf. We'll say they started to take that Baron without asking anyone else first. Bang and Wolf, come on, guys. Well, they saved the mid lane turret at least.
Yeah, they do, but wards get right back into the pit. And they're down an Alistar ult, but they've got good side wave control right now, so it's a methodical setup. Marin is just recalling, getting back into the top side. Now they're going to have to deal with 2 side waves in addition to the threat around the Baron. As soon as this ward goes down, I'm not sure they can actually see it. Yeah, they can, okay.
So if the game kind of stalls out a bit here and SK Telecom can't keep kind of snowballing the lead that they've started, does this death cap become a bit risky for Marin?
No, because he already has the Zonias, so he's just going to be doing
okay.
huge amounts of damage in the front line, and he's got enough safety with the Zonias active that if he uses it properly, he should be able to output sufficient damage in a team fight.
Fair enough. Songyun just still trying to farm where he can.
A huge amount of wards. I think they should just do the Baron.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
got a flash.
Charm. They got the flash of the Snowflower, though, yeah, so that helped. And SKT, again, they should be able to turn around and start this Baron, or at least bait it. They're trying to bait it right now. Marin comes down to protect this bot lane turret. He can teleport up anytime he wants.
Lyra trying to get eyes to see if they're... Oh, there he found him.
Yep.
You have to commit to these attacks if you're going to try and bait these Barons, because that Rek'Sai will be able to pick up on the fact that you're not there otherwise. Backing off right now, just trying to push up the bottom side. I think they just pinged the tier 2. They're tired of these shenanigans. It's really difficult against this Rek'Sai to bait the Baron with the Tremor Sense and the Prey Seeker, so instead they're just going to probably siege down this tier 2 instead. Go for a different objective to try and close this game. Ixu not going to have that Mega Gnar for very much longer.
True enough, Faker coming in, finds an opportunity maybe onto Mickey. Mickey, though, they get the stun off. Snowflower heals a bit. Bang doing some damage. Bangy comes in from behind onto Lyra. Bang starting to fill him with spears, and Lyra trying to get out. Weirdly, kind of, that was odd. A little bit knocked out of his tunnel, kind of. I'm not sure what happened there.
He may have gotten charmed.
Could have, yeah, I suppose. Mid-tunnel. Either way, it looks like SK Telecom's going to get this tier 2 turret.
They do enough damage at the very least to take Anarchy's ability to defend the tower away. So after that extended dance, it's a small victory, but a victory nonetheless. Taking the blue buff as well,
yeah.
And Dragon going to be up in 10 seconds. Lots of recalls going down though. Faker picks up some home guards just to make sure he can get there in time. Marin also with the home guards on his way back. Death cap complete. Big power spike.
Yep.
Marin.
This Dragon should not be a problem for SK Telecom either, and Anarchy getting a bit desperate. It's either it's do or die now. Well, it was do or die about maybe 10 minutes ago, but now it's like
Do or dire.
do and die. Oh well.
Guess who can't take dragons away from Callista Nunu?
Everybody.
Correct.
Yep. It's a trick question, Monty. And now it's time for Baron.
Wow, I don't even think you use that smite on the dragon right there when you just have Rend. Why bother smiting it when you could just walk into the jungle and
When you have a spell that does more damage.
get a raptor buff or something like that? It's just kind of wasteful.
I suppose. Flame Horizon almost reached by Marin here.
For the second time in this series.
Yep.
Oh man, Faker really wants to make picks on the Snowflower.
He does, and he's going to get one. Snowflower taking a lot of damage. Faker blows him up. And now he has become Ahri, destroyer of supports.
Well, it's not quite as bad as when DFG was in the game. Marin sees that pink ward, gonna double back and slowly auto it. Now here comes the Baron. After the support goes down, they got the pick they wanted.
That's right. And is there anything Anarchy can do if Lyra steals us away? It's going to be a miracle. Baron getting very, very low, and here comes the burst. Yep, Wolf just pushing him out just to stay on the ultra safe side. Baron taken by Faker, actually, so I guess they did have a chance. Equalizer slows down a lot of members of Anarchy. SK Telecom, though, not able to follow it up, but look at all that damage out of Equalizer. Wow, that was Equalizer.
Yep. This is a very, very fed Rumble.
Yeah.
So he's going to be able to do that much damage. And what a weird Baron where Faker gets that. Bang really underestimated. He needs to, for a guy who is undefeated on Callista, he needs to learn the Ren damage better at different levels because he's giving a lot of opportunities. That it's not the first time, even in this series, that he's miscalculated his Ren damage.
Well, a rough night for Bang and Wolf. What can you say, you know? I guess you can say it's a rough night for Bang & Wolf.
I think you said it all, though.
I guess that's pretty much what it is.
You nailed it.
Got it. Nailed it. Well, 4 dragons, a Baron, bunch of kills, bunch of gold. What more do you need? How about an inhibitor?
Meganar. They'd love an inhibitor, Doa.
I'd love it too.
You ready for the desperation engage?
Yep, here it comes. They do catch Wolf right before he's pulled out with the Fate's Call. Ixu trying to get in position because of that Meganar. Wolf thrown back in, though, knocks people out. Bengi with that absolute zero, slowing people down. There's an equalizer. Faker comes in. It's cleanup time as Bang enters the fray, and there is nothing Anarchy can do.
There is just no engage from Anarchy. They tried their best right there to engage at the right timing around the
Surrender.
Narbar, and they're just going to surrender.
Well, what else can you do? I mean, there is no way that Anarchy was going to win a game like that, but hey, they took a game off of SK Telecom. I mean, Anarchy, despite losing the match 2-1, I think we can pretty much definitively say that's the best we've seen them play yet this season. Does appear that the week off helped a bit. They're still on the bottom end of the teams we have here in Korea, but progress.
That's right. I agree, and I really thought their shot calling was, for the most part, pretty good in games 1 and 2. They looked much more like a unit. I think they did have some pick ban problems in that last game, and even if that game had been closer, I really have a hard time seeing how they would win with that composition, just because they, at a certain point, they just couldn't engage anymore, which is what we saw right there. So that pattern would have been very difficult to actually pull out a win, even if they were even